Welcome everyone to the Derby G Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle G, and with me is host of Media Gaming and special guest, Baldy Rudy. For this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also become a member of this podcast, get extra podcast content every single month, which Drip, we need to do that in May. We got to make 2 in May because we missed April, because April is the last day of April's today. But guess what, guys?
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. I forgot about it. Drip didn't though. Press the button.
Listen, this is we put this on the board last year and did not use it in time. Tonight's our night. We're gonna be using it. We may have an in-sync counter by the time we put this episode back up on YouTube. It's gonna be May.
Justin Timberlake told us. There.
I got it all night, baby. Don't you worry. It's here all night.
It's gonna be May.
There we go. You should have heard that one a while now. So yeah, there we go.
It's gonna be demonetized.
It's gonna be.
It's fine. Not a big deal. It's fine.
But yeah, we've got Rudy with us this week. Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. This is such an exciting time. I always love right before like a launch of like a big thing, like whether it's a Switch 2, PlayStation 5 Pro, like anything. It's just there's so much because there's so much tech that's going to be coming out, so many answers that are unknown. It's awesome, man. But thank you for having me.
Of course. Appreciate your presence. And you're here for a very specific reason. Not just because you're cool and we like you, but also because you bring the knowledge of things that Drip and I kind of lack, which is, I don't know, most things, but particularly the PC handheld market, because it seems like Nintendo's trying to compete with the big boys. And that's kind of what you're here to talk about, my friend. But first,
Go ahead. But first, what? Oh my God!
But first, we're gonna start off with this. Did you get your pre-order? Did you manage to get your hands on one?
Yes. And here, dude. Okay, so here's the thing. I am not going to be here when it actually launches. I'm actually going to be on vacation in Europe over the summer.
So the horror.
I know it's horrible. It's horrible. But I'm sending it to my sisters, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get a pre-order over there as well, because I got to create the content for it, man. You guys know, I have to create the content for it. Well, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just buy a second one over there. I'll give that one to like my son, and then I'll have my own, and I'll be able to just play games and do whatever. But knock on wood, we'll see what happens.
That would be awesome.
Did you guys
if
get
you could do
your
that.
pre-order in?
Yeah, I went live. I went on the 5th, and I went 4 hours early to my GameStop. I was second in line. I sat there with a chair, and they came out and gave me a little piece of paper and a red pen, and they said, just mark what you want. And I walked in, gave the man the paper, gave him my card, and walked out. It was very, very painless.
It was good for you,
quite
man.
Painless.
I was in lots of pain. Speaking of pain, I was sick. I told you guys last week, you already know, but yeah, I managed to get mine while basically having the flu in bed. And I feel lucky. I'm glad I got it. And by the way, Rudy, we have a contact in Europe. He's in, where is Alex? I think he's in the Great Britons. That's where he's at.
Where he's at.
So, but yeah, maybe we can, I'll give him a text, shoot him a text. Maybe he can help you out there.
Yeah, man.
There.
Yeah, Switch
That'd
corner.
be awesome.
Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so cool. I'm glad you got one. Hype level, I mean, I imagine it's pretty high, but I don't want to speak for you.
Well, it's like, okay. Part of me is I'm a Metroid fan through and through. Like I don't know if you can see it, but there's like the Metroid Dread Special Edition right there.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then there's like the amiibo. It's blurry as heck, but then there's like
I see it. I can see it.
I'm a Metroid and Zelda fan. Those are like my two main like go-tos when it comes to it. So I am really excited that we're finally getting Metroid Prime 4. And although Beyond is technically a cross-gen title, like come on, you're gonna go for the better version of it, right? So that definitely sold me. Donkey Kong looks fantastic. I mean, everything that we saw in the Direct got me excited for this. And there are some games that are going to be coming out that I've played on other platforms, but I don't know, man. Like, it looks like Nintendo took what made the Switch 1 good, refined it, made it better, added more to it, more power, and more features. It's everything that we wanted, right? At least for me, that's how I feel. No,
it's the exact thing we've been talking about for, I mean, the better part of, I mean, I'm not going to say 8 years, but 2 years into the Switch, we're all like, okay, this is cool, but what if? Just what if? And this is it. They did it. They actually listened. They did do the stupid gimmicky thing, which is not stupid and gimmicky, by the way.
It's an
Metroid
add-on.
Prime. You will appreciate this. Metroid Prime
mouse.
4 in mouse mode at 120 frames per second is amazing. That was my favorite part of the entire experience. That was amazing. They got to do their little thing, their little Nintendo thing with the mouse mode, but they still gave us what we wanted. They gave us what we've all been asking for. Just make it more powerful. Make it do what the other things do. And they're doing it. It's great. It is great. And you said, I want to bring this up again, because speaking of hype level, I have been saying, I feel like this is going to be the highest selling console. When it's all said and done, this is going to beat everything. I think. Now, I've been saying that for months. I've been told to pump the brakes, see what happens. I'm all about it. You're saying the same thing though, right?
Oh heck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
Like, come on. Okay. Out of great sound effect. Out of everything that is like out there, and like, what was it? PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I think they had pre-orders of like 8 or 9 million, and the Switch 2 is already there. We've still got
those were the records, and they're saying the records for what was it? Not just pre-order, but for the launch. The actual launch was something around. I don't remember the numbers, but they're talking that the Switch 2. They're talking the Switch 2,
something like that. I saw Thor is like the big one I saw for PS5.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual ones, but like before the actual pre-orders went live in America, they were saying like double. They're saying it's going to double that, and now they're saying it's like going to possibly like triple that. Like that's insane. It's gonna do
the Wii U's life cycle in a month.
Yeah. I mean, that's really funny, but it's also like true.
Yeah.
It's also true, which is crazy.
Man.
I mean, it's nuts. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like even though, and this can kind of go into the hype level thing here too, because we talked about this, they are tripping over their own feet at every turn. Like there's a bad story about Nintendo, fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line every single week. Sometimes multiple stories about them doing this. Yet, here we are. Pre-orders sold out all over the world. Predictions for this thing to have the biggest launch ever by a mile. Yet Nintendo can't get out of their own way. It's like you said, it's really hard to imagine a world where this thing is not the best-selling console. If Nintendo stops making games, maybe, but they're not going to do that. So, I mean, yeah, I think your hype level is appropriate because it's right where mine's at.
Appropriate hype level, indeed. And before we hear I want to hear your thoughts about the Switch 2. I want to break this thing down. I got some bullet points. You're probably going to go over more than what I got here written. But before we do that, Joey Pitts has a very important question we need to answer. Thank you for the 199 super chat. Appreciate that. Joey Pitts, who would win the fight? One gorilla or 100 men? I saw this going around on social media this week. Thought it was funny. Glad you brought it up, Joey. What do you guys think?
It depends on the gorilla, but I mean, I would put my money on 100 men. It's 100 people, man.
I'm right there with you, man. 100 men, easy.
But like the thing is like we're not talking about tools or anything. We're talking about fisticuffs. Like your 100 men fist versus a gorilla fist.
No, because see, then you got to think about how many men can you actually get around the gorilla at once?
That's the thing.
If you can't get enough around them to actually get it down and like take it down, like it's just gonna start.
Yeah, I think the gorilla will die. I think there'll be more men alive than gorilla. But I don't think there might be like 5 guys alive at the end of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm still going 100 men. I'm 100 men.
But to go off of this, I saw a funnier one that's relevant. Donkey Kong versus 100 Pikmin. What do you guys think?
It depends. Is Olimar there? Because if not, then
that's a good question. I don't think so. I think it's just 100 Pikmin with aimless Pikmin.
Just aimless, not really. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah,
they're not surviving, bro.
Yeah, when you put it like
No.
that, I'm like, oh, 'cause at first I'm like, oh, the Pikmin are going to win easy. But then you bring
It's
up
like
the
a
point.
slide of the foot. It's
No
like you put
Omar.
it.
Man, I have
They're
such a
done.
love-hate relationship with Pikmin. I've had some funny like content moments with Pikmin in the past on stream. And there's no way aimless Pikmin can do anything because it's hard enough
That's
when they have
hilarious.
Olimar
That's
whistling in their
actually
ear
hilarious.
to go where they need to go. I'm dying. Oh my God. I've too many memories. Okay. Moving on. The Switch 2 and Rudy. That's why you're here, man. And I guess the first big thing we should talk about is this big, beautiful screen we got. Because correct us if we're wrong, Rudy, but Drip and I can't think of a single device on the market that hit, even considering price point, we'll just say below $1,000 that can match this screen. Is there a screen that can match this thing?
As far as what it can do.
Yeah.
As far as like what it can do, I mean, the one thing that I think I can't remember something that is below $1,000 that has HDR, because 120 hertz and 1080p is kind of like the standard in the PC world. The Steam Deck's the only one that isn't because it's 800p, but everything else is 1080p, 120. I think there's only one other thing that has that, but HDR, man, HDR and like that nit peak brightness that the Switch 2 has, those are like the two things that really make it stand out.
What about the VRR too?
Well, VRR too. So like for example, the ROG Ally, which I got here sitting here in front of me, this thing is it's 120 hertz VRR. The only other PC handheld that's really popular that matches this a little bit but doesn't have VRR is the Legion Go. All of the other ones that are out there have VRR because the way that consoles work are very different when it comes to like VRR working properly versus like a PC handheld. With a PC handheld, with PCs in general, the frame rate is so up and down that if you don't have VRR, you're going to get screen tearing and it's going to look nasty, man. It's not going to look good at all.
Okay.
It has to have it. Yeah, man. Whereas like, did you guys play Link's Awakening by any chance?
Yeah.
On the original Switch? Yeah. So like, do you remember like when there was like a ton of things going on, like that frame rate would dip, but you wouldn't get screen tearing. It would dip, but it would be fine. That's because of the resolution that's there and the frame rate the hertz refresh rate that's there on the actual Switch. When you're talking about high refresh rate, you need to have something that is powerful enough to get you those high frames. And when you go above 60, when you go below 60 and you don't have VRR, that's when things get nasty and they don't look smooth at all. If you have something that's, let's say, like 45 frames per second and you have VRR enabled, you won't even notice most of the time. It's still going to look smooth because that refresh rate is matching the frames that are coming out of the computer. It's super cool, man. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. It's HDR, man. HDR is freaking dope. It's so good because like they're not coming out with an OLED screen. They're coming out with an LCD screen.
Yeah.
And the HDR makes up for that, dude. It's going to look so freaking good.
Yes. I can tell you from somebody who I would not go back to anything because of the OLED. I put an OLED screen in my Switch Lite because I wanted to switch it. I did, and I did it, and I didn't even mess anything up. And let me tell you that OLED screen is like 1,000 times better than the one that's actually in the Switch. Oh my, it's so good. But I was like, I want a Lite, but there's no way I'm using that. There's no way I'm using that screen. So I put the other one in, and that's what I use now. But playing the Switch 2, seeing it oh man, that screen is like, it's excellent. It looks so good. Mario, the only thing I had to play handheld was Mario Kart World, but like, holy crap. Like, it was crazy. It looks so good.
Yeah.
It looked good enough to where I wasn't even thinking about the fact that it wasn't OLED. You know what I mean? Like it didn't even cross my mind until I'd already gone back to like a TV and then I was like, oh yeah, that was an LCD screen and that was amazing. Whoa, holy crap. But yeah. Anything you see on camera right now does not do it justice. It looks great. I mean, obviously it's not like the deepest blacks. It's not OLED blacks, but I mean, it's good enough. it's definitely good enough. And of course, we're gonna get an OLED screen in like 3 years anyway.
Oh
It's
my God.
fine.
Are we going to get an OLED HDR like just added to the list of specs to this? Like,
Well, OLED is the OLED and the HDR or the VRR. Is that the problem with the OLED? Is the VRR
I'm not sure.
or is it the HDR? I
So
saw.
it was the price point. So like,
Yeah.
I can talk about this now because it's past NDA. But like, so when I went to Asus and I went to their headquarters, they talked to me about their Ally X that was coming out, and I was talking to the engineers that were over there, and I was like, hey, like, why don't you guys have OLED screens? OLED, like the Nintendo Switch OLED is fantastic, and one of the main reasons, the selling point, is the OLED screen. The Steam Deck OLED came out, fantastic screen. It didn't have VRR, but the 90 hertz refresh rate was decent, right? So they were like, well, is the main thing at that point was price. They couldn't find a panel that could fit the price point that they wanted so that it could be attainable. A lot of, like, the main goal for them was to kind of stay within that Steam Deck price point. And jumping outside of that makes things much more expensive. Right now, the only PC handheld that I know of right now that has been publicly announced that is going to have VRR, OLED, 120 hertz is the Legion Go 2. And I messed with that over at CES this January. Dude, mind blowing. I was like, this, if no one else does this, this is going to be what sells this handheld above the rest. It's gonna be
When does it come out?
So, and that's the other thing. No one knows. They just showed it. And so it was an invite only event. And like, I met Jeff Keighley over there, as well as like the dude, super cool dude. And
Jeffrey.
as well as
Jeffrey.
yeah, super cool dude. I met Jeff Keighley. I met some of the guys over at AMD, like the developers behind like SteamOS that work at Valve, like all these people. And when I was talking to them about, when this is going to be coming out, they're like, we don't know. Earlier this year, they released the Legion Go S, and then there's 3 other SKUs that are coming out next month. But we don't know anything about the Legion Go 2, and that's going to sell like crazy because that has a huge fan base with how popular the previous one is. So that's the only thing that I can think of that has OLED that is going to be coming out this year, and it has to come out this year with as popular as things were.
What the price is going to be on that?
No, man, and that's another thing. So like, the price point when I talked to the rep, they're like, we're trying to keep it under $1,000, which is, that doesn't mean anything to me, because you have some PC handhelds that are like $300-400 like the Steam Deck, and then you have some that are like $900 like the MSI Claw 8 AI. So like, them telling me that doesn't mean anything at all. But here's the thing, man. So I talked to them about the Legion Go S in January, and the one that came out at the end of January was priced at, if I remember correctly, it was $729, and that went up in price since then. And it is not a good handheld at all. Like, I do not recommend it. It performs a little tiny bit better than the Steam Deck, but it performs worse than the Ally or Ally X or the Legion Go because of the processor that's in it. So there's so much that's happening with Lenovo that we have no idea how things are going to like turn out. The big selling point is the next processor that comes out. So I don't know. We don't know until the end of next month, until Computex is over. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out more info there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting for a lot of reasons. Again, because we were just talking about, 4 years, we'll get the Switch 2 Pro with the OLED screen. But at that point, it's going to be, someone else is using it now, which means in 3-4 years, it's going to be totally affordable for Nintendo to pop in there. And it's going to be, lines up with exactly what they always do. So that's great to hear. So, I mean, that kind of gives more, that gives me way more hope for an OLED screen in the Pro or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we don't get another pandemic and they just have to only put the screen in and keep all the other parts, we'll be fine.
Don't say that. It's not gonna work, dude. Like, don't speak it into existence, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I didn't say it. Moving on.
We're gonna talk about Legion Go a bit as well as the Ally X Steam Deck in a little bit. But before we do that, there's a couple more things here we want to touch on. Just like general hardware, I guess sticking with the system itself, the Joy-Con. Did you like them? Do you hate them? Do you indifferent? Like, how are you feeling about handheld?
I think it's a genuine like improvement.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
everything just seems like a better build overall. I know that there were some people that were like complaining about the little metal part where you can kind of like snap them in. I don't think that that's gonna break by any chance,
No,
man. Like
no.
you're
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
so a lot of people don't know this, but that's the same, more or less the same design as like an HDMI cable. If you look like at an
Yeah.
HDMI port and you
Oh,
look
yeah, that's
inside,
true.
there's
That's
a
right.
little thing that's there. You have to jam in a cable into that port in order to actually make a connection. It's the same concept. It's just the Joy-Cons a little bit bigger, but
It's kind of
the
like
connection
scaled
is
up,
more or
right?
less the
It's like
same.
Oh yeah,
bigger,
it's got a
scaled
little more
up.
surface area to just guide it in. And I can tell you
Exactly.
this, from holding it,
How'd it feel?
there's no it's fine. It goes in, out, so easy. It's by the time it touches anything in there, it's already seated into that big like it's not touching anything. Everybody worried about that. If you're breaking that shit, you don't need a Switch 2 anyway. You don't need one. You need a Switch Lite. That's what you need. Because
For sure.
I mean, because even like the Flex, it's still there slightly, but it's not
Mhm.
nearly what it was with like if you're breaking this thing, you're trying. Like you're really like trying. That thing's not gonna break. That's not the point of failure. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
No.
I'm still a little
I-
worried about what's going on with those sticks, but we'll see.
Well, they're not Hall sensing or TMR, right? They're just regular potentiometer.
Well, I've heard other
As
people
far as
that
we know.
played it too telling me that the sticks were like the ones on the Pro controller because the Pro controller sticks are some kind of black magic. I don't know what that is. I've never felt anything like that. Those are crazy. I didn't feel that so much on the Joy-Cons. They're a little bigger, but they're basically like the same. I know they're different. I know they're different. I do worry a little bit, just a little bit, not a bunch, just like there might be some. It's still pretty flat. There's still not a lot of room going on in there, and there's, you know, I mean, I feel like they did seem to fix the issue towards the end of the Switch's life. I don't think there weren't as many people having drift issues because I don't know if you've opened up a Joy-Con or one of the newer versions of it. They did add, it's like the most minuscule little thing on the piece of plastic in the back. It's just to keep the bottom of that housing for the joystick from pushing down. I guess that fixed a lot of people's problems. I don't know. I'm opening one up like the first day. I want to see what's in there. I can't wait
Just
to
wanna
look and
see
see
what's
what's
in
in
there.
there.
Not first day
I
for me.
can't wait.
If I buy a second pair, I might do it, but I'm not going to risk breaking them right away. We don't make the kind of content where I need to do that.
I don't either. I'm
I
not
was
going to
gonna say
make
that
it for
sounds like a really good video
Yeah.
idea. So
Yeah.
thanks,
I'm
guys.
probably not
Yeah, you
gonna
guys
do it
feel
for
free,
video.
man.
I just want to see it. I'm probably not going to do it. I mean, I may do it live. I'm probably going to stream the night of. Maybe we'll do it live. Maybe we'll open the damn thing up live. Who knows? I don't know.
Hell yeah, man.
I want to see what's in
Unbox
there,
it.
though.
I
mean,
yeah, that's what Spawn Wave is for. I'm just gonna go to Spawn Wave. He'll post his video of him tearing the thing down first day. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do it myself. You crazy? I just spent
wanna know.
$500 in the thing. I'm not gonna tear it up. I'm not confident enough to like do that day one. I'll wait until there's like tutorials and stuff, and then I'll do it myself. You know, I'll reshell the thing or something. But,
I don't know.
You
We'll
know,
see.
not day one. I'm not that crazy. Speaking of crazy, now I know Rudy, you didn't get to try it in person, but that Pro controller, Drip says, and everybody else on the internet has been saying how good that thing feels and looks. It is a little expensive. It's $85 after tariffs. Any opinions on that controller?
I mean, it looks nice. And to be honest with you, okay, so I don't see myself using all of the online features that they were selling
Agreed.
with like the C button and
C button,
do
yeah.
all that stuff. A lot of the games that I play are single player. Every once in a while, I might hop into like my old channel and like we might stream some stuff with like some of the guys over there. But it's gonna be it's not gonna be anything that I'm gonna need to have that. We got Discord for that.
Right.
It's Discord. It's just a worse Discord. That's what it is.
Right? Like I mean, guys, let's be real. We all saw the direct. Did
It's
that not
Discord.
look like a ripoff of Discord?
First thing I
Yeah,
said,
that's
as it came out,
exactly
I'm
what
like,
it
that looks like
was.
Discord. Is the first thing
Only
I
it
said. out of my
runs at
mouth.
5 frames per second.
Well, Discord sometimes does bring your PC, power and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
That's true.
I mean,
But-
dude, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not planning on using any of that stuff. But I do think that it's worth getting a Pro controller if you're playing on the living room TV. If you're just playing handheld, like there's no point to it. But if you're playing on the living room TV, hell yeah. Like it's definitely worth getting. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks fantastic. I do want to try the compatibility with like some of the third-party controllers that I have. Like 8BitDo has like phenomenal controllers. I don't know if you guys use them. But I love them. And I've been using the Ultimate 2 wireless lately for like PC as well as like Switch and Steam Deck, and it's awesome. So I don't know. It looks comfy. I don't know. Keeps you
It's just
it?
the sticks. It's just the sticks. It's the sticks. That's it. That's
Feels
the
good?
only thing. I mean, everything else is great. It's fine. It's a controller.
Did the macros feel good, man?
They're like flat, so they're not there unless you want them to be. Like you can feel them. They
like
stick
that.
out slightly, but they're not like huge. So they're like there if you want them to be, and they feel fine when you hit them. They're not crazy. They're very simple. I'm telling you, it's the sticks. I don't know what is going on. Like they don't have, like they don't hit anything at the end. I don't know
Frictionless.
like they just kind of. It's like they're just floating. I can't explain it. You have to feel it. Like you literally cannot explain the feeling. It feels like they have no edges. Like, you know, when you get to the edge, you push forward, you get plastic on plastic, that click, 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 whenever you, that doesn't happen because it doesn't do that. But you also don't feel any resistance, really. It kind of just like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's
like
nuts.
a really expensive rotary phone.
As soon as I picked
it's like
it up,
a really
I was like,
high quality rotary phone, just like
it's
frictionless,
just like
beautiful.
that. Okay,
gliding.
never mind. You can't explain it. That's it.
There you
It's
go.
just like that.
That's it.
Have you tried it?
It's hard to explain. I picked it up and I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening here? I looked at the lady, she's like, yeah, telling me like, oh yeah. I'm like, but why? How? And I'm like looking, I'm like, what is going on here? What is this?
She's
I
like,
couldn't figure it out.
I could tell you, but then I gotta kill you.
I don't think she knew. If I'm being honest, I don't think she knew.
There's no way she did. No.
Because every time I would ask them a question about something like specific, they'd be like, oh, well, if you go to the little QR code on the back of your tag there, it'll take you right to the website. I'm like,
oh my God.
When you don't have the answer, you just send me to the QR code to be,
of course.
Fine. Okay. Yeah.
I'll lump these together because the internals of the thing. Now, I am not well equipped enough to like dive into what we have, how it's different than the original. I only know what I can, I only know as much as other smarter people can tell me. So what can you tell me about the processor, what you're seeing from DLSS, even like storage speeds, because we know that's got a big boost this generation too. What from those can you kind of concur that makes you what's the most exciting part to you, and just your thoughts on all of those upgrades?
Okay, so as of right now, I looked online, full honesty, because I wanted to make sure that I had the information right in terms of the data that is out there for the exact processor that's going to be happening. And even then, like this is stuff that IGN looked up and was kind of like, we're not 100% sure. So like right now, it's NVIDIA Tegra, which is the same style of processor that was in the original Switch.
Yes.
And that's the T239, which is codenamed Drake. And it's an octa-core ARM Cortex A78C CPU and 12 ampere GPU with 128-bit LPDDR5 memory interface.
We get nerdy today.
So like,
Perfect.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, all right. So there is a lot that is here, but I think that what a lot of people should, and I mean, it's the title of the stream, guys. Like, let's be real. They're going to compare it to the Steam Deck. They're going to be like, is this better or worse than a Steam Deck? And I think that, processing wise, right out of the gate, I think that it is more powerful in the capabilities that it can do. This is something that you can plug into a dock and get 4K footage out. And based off of what we've seen, 40 FPS seems to be kind of like the target for like a well-optimized game on the Switch. And that is awesome for two main reasons. One, you get over that 30 FPS bump, so things are going to look a little bit smoother, especially if you're talking about a 120 hertz refresh rate screen with VRR. And then two, this is super nerdy, but when you come into micro framing and frame time, like having one frame be inserted every 3 refreshes that are happening on screen, things are just going to look smoother overall in the grand scheme of things. It's like PlayStation, they did this with Ratchet and Clank. they literally set it up with a 40 FPS mode and locked it at 40 FPS, giving you the ability to make the game look smoother at 4K, native 4K, on a TV that supports 120 hertz. Nintendo is doing the same thing with this, and it's super exciting because the quality that you're going to get out of it is amazing. Now, in terms of what NVIDIA can do with this, dude, it's crazy because I have a laptop that's sitting right over here that has a 5090 in it, and like I'm working on a video for it, right? Laptops, mobile processors, and everything, one of the biggest problems that we have is power consumption, right? We don't know how much power can be like taken in, and Nintendo, based off of what we've seen in the past, notoriously underclocks and pretty much weakens the processor to save battery life. The beauty with DLSS is that it does not use power consumption in the same fashion as it would if you were rendering things natively. That means without DLSS. With DLSS, you can make things look better, save power in battery through software, and get a better overall experience. Like a lot of the issues that you see with like some of the PC handhelds is that the battery just dies like that.
Yeah,
and there are ways to go around it.
That was a question. That was actually something you just said that I'm very interested in. So DLSS does not use power in that way.
In the same fashion.
Okay, because I keep hearing other
Yeah.
people say like, "Oh, DLSS." I mean, I know it's not like free. You know, you don't get to just use it and it doesn't use anything. But the way some people are talking about, like, oh, if they're going to be using DLSS, well, how are they going to even keep the battery's just going to die? But they're still getting, I mean, basically what the Switch had. It's like what, half an hour less on both ends?
In the original Switch, I believe rated times.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good considering what they're putting out.
And that's dependent on the game. So like there are some games that will obviously need more horsepower. Like I remember playing, Breath of the Wild on the original Switch and getting like an hour and a half if I was lucky, you know?
Depending on your screen brightness,
Exactly, man. So like when it comes to DLSS, it's not going to be free. You're going to have to give, the hardware power in order to render all those cores that are coming in. But the thing that we saw, and this is why I mentioned the laptop earlier, with I think it was the 2000 or 3000 NVIDIA GPUs, the RTX GPUs, we saw a cap at 175 watts of power, and it has not increased since then. But what we have seen is more frames. And the reason why we've seen more frames is because of DLSS. So that means, to give you more insight, and this is the easiest way that I can look at it, we're getting more frames while consuming the same amount of power. Do you get where I'm going?
Yeah, so they're basically just, I mean, okay, that's insane. So they're just getting more power, but basically just keeping the power consumption at the same level.
Essentially, right? But here's the thing. With the Nintendo Switch, you don't need something that is getting 180 FPS while I'm playing COD or Counter-Strike or whatever. To be fair, the Switch and Nintendo as a brand has always been the most attainable and approachable brand out of the big three, at least in my opinion. You go to Xbox,
for sure.
Those are people that want to play Halo, they want to play Gears of War. You go to PlayStation, single player adventure epics, Last of Us, God of War, so on and so forth, right? Nintendo, this is about being approachable by anyone. I could go to my brother-in-law that he's a doctor. He doesn't know anything about video games. He's just like, dude, I just want to play games. Give me something to play. We can play Mario Kart World, and he'll jump in just fine. No issues at all. That approachability is what makes Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So they're not appeasing to the hardcore guys like me. They just want something that works out of the box and is completely and totally optimized. Dude, it's so freaking, I'm so glad that they're using DLSS. Because it'll make the end product and the experience so much better, man. So much better.
Yeah, super exciting. All the things I'm hearing is good things, and kind of confirming things I've already heard. So, man, there's so many haters out there too that are ringing in my ears because
and
Twitter, YouTube comments.
Jeeve and I also sit here in our little echo chamber and yell at each other about how awesome this thing is.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a perspective of somebody who actually knows what the other things that are kind of like this do and still super excited about this. But just to kind of piggyback on the thing you just said about Nintendo, like the approachability and what they're doing. You're right. They're not going for like the hardcore, like I need a kabillion frames per second at 8K. They're not going for those people. But they are going high enough to where they're talking, they're still talking 120 frames per second, 4K, HD. They're still giving you all those things you want. Maybe it's not crazy high, but I mean, with all that combined and mouse mode,
yeah.
Like for somebody who likes to play PC, that's a nice little package for $450. You're like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm a PC player who likes Fortnite. Like, we're about to get that at 120 frames per second with mouse mode.
Yeah.
Like, take it with you. Set it up on a table. Why not? I mean, that's a very interesting piece of tech to show to someone who is just a PC gamer who maybe doesn't want to do the Steam Deck, the this, the that. That's what I think is very interesting about what they're doing here. Because you're right. It's not like the craziest thing ever, but man, it's a nice package put together, and being what it is, it's still, as you said, like very approachable. You plug and play, and it just does all those things.
Realistically, like I was expecting 720p. I don't know if I told you guys this last time that we talked, but I was expecting 720p handheld and 1440p docked. Maybe with like, I don't know if you guys remember, but the PS4 Pro, when it came out, the PS4 Pro didn't have actual real 4K. It was checkerboarding that they had. I thought that was going to be the same thing that we would see with this Switch 2. So like when they're saying, no, this is 4K, VRR, all that.
Saying it's not. I keep seeing other places that it's not 4K. Like Metroid Prime 4 is not actually 4K. It's 1440.
If that's the case, yeah, sure, it could be 1440, but it is very easy for DLSS to upscale 1440 to 4K. I have a 4K monitor literally sitting right here, right? I have a 3080 in my actual desktop. It cannot run Monster Hunter Wilds at 4K natively. Screw that. No, I'm using DLSS so I can get the best quality possible. Yeah, sure, I slap in a couple mods here and there, but at the end of the day, DLSS allows me to play at a pretty decent rate, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting over 60 FPS. I'm a happy camper. Dude, whoever like is, talking smack is, they don't know.
Digital
and as
Foundry.
of right now,
It's Digital Foundry.
but
they're
as of right now,
Sorry.
right now, we don't have it in our hands.
Yeah.
If they have it in their hands, hey, more power to them.
Yeah,
but
they've
like,
got footage that they've been looking at, and they say it's 14.
Have they been like pixel counting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their game, man. That's their game. I'm gonna wait until
about this last week. Yeah, we talked about this last week. It's like, it's interesting. It's like some super deep nerdy stuff, and it's like interesting to the people who care about it. But like watching their stuff sometimes makes me like, I love having the knowledge and like, oh, that's cool to see it. But then it's like, they're breaking this stuff down, and it's like, oh man, it dropped like 2 frames while we were in this menu, and then I'm like, come on. Stop.
But that's what I'm saying, man.
But that's their game. Yeah, that's their game. That's what they do.
That's their game. That's what they do. And like, that's
I appreciate that,
dude. Like, bro, I don't know if you guys have played Expedition 33. Like, Claire Obscura Expedition 33 came out, huge thing. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
The guy in line with me at the release
was talking about
pre-order was telling me about it. Yeah, he would not stop talking about it.
It's like, it's insane, right? There's a ton of hype around it. A bunch of like big name, like the guy that played Daredevil in the Netflix show.
Heard that, yeah.
Charlie
Charlie
Cox.
Cox.
He voices the main character. Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah,
what?
dude.
Well, it's
a
turn-based game. You're not gonna like it. You're turn-based. You're not.
No, dude, no.
No, okay, but that was the thing I said.
It's turn.
He said
but it is
combat.
not.
I've been looked into
the
it.
combat is like actually super cool.
No, there's dodging, there's parrying, there's counters, and like you are constantly doing stuff. Like my wife gets pissed off when I walk in front of the TV while she's playing because she's like, "You're messing up my timing." It's really, really
I'll
good.
have to look
man.
into
But,
it. I've obviously heard great things about it. But I have not looked into it. All I've heard is that it's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, dude.
It sounds like
if
it's
you
a
have
lot more
Game
than
Pass,
that.
like just give it a go.
Yeah, the guy
Seriously.
right behind me in line was just on me about. He's like, "You got to play." I'm so excited. I'm like so excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
The crazy thing about this, dude, is that, and this will be the last thing that I say about it because I don't want to gush too much over it. The crazy thing about it is that this game was developed by ex-Ubisoft developers,
Heard that, yeah.
and it was made by, I think, originally people thought it was only 30 people, but they came out and they're like, no, it's more closer to like 60 people. But 60 people made this game, and it cost, I think, $40, which is
it 50?
insane.
Well, yeah. Either way, it's not full price. Yeah.
No, it's not a full
awesome.
$70 game, but it feels like a full $70 game. It's a 30-hour campaign. You throw in side quests, it's an additional 30 hours on top of that. So it's a 60-hour game if you want to 100%. But
it's fine. I'll wait for it to come to Switch too.
Let's talk about
which it probably will.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to buy anything anywhere else now because I'm like, it's gonna be on Switch too. Like I'm like, I've just bought Hogwarts Legacy. I got it for like $15, so it wasn't like a huge thing, but I wanted to play it. I played a little bit through it on PS5, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. But then I'm like, okay, it's on Switch too.
Now
and I played it on
play it on the toilet with a Switch too.
I played it, yeah.
40
yeah,
FPS. That's the way to do
playing
it.
I played it in docked mode though. I didn't see it handheld, but like, I was like, man, I was playing it on the Portal, and I'm like, this is like this is very comparable. Like there are, you can definitely see where there's like, some give and take places, but it's
Let's talk about the Switch 2 games that we know of. I want to get your thoughts, Rudy, of what you saw from games. Like, we'll start with third-party stuff like Cyberpunk, Split Fiction, any other of the third-party games we saw Switch 2 running. Obviously, this is like compressed of streams or whatever. So it's not like we're not Digital Foundry. We're not breaking it down with raw footage. But like, what do you, because you've played a ton of these these PC handhelds, a lot of these games. At least Cyberpunk. And like, what are your thoughts, like seeing what you saw from what the Switch 2 is doing? Do you have like a closest comparison of like one of the handhelds you've played to what you've seen? Because I don't think it's the Steam Deck, because that's what people have said. Oh, I've had better experience with the Steam Deck. I think they're lying. I think they're lying.
And then like, that's the thing. So like, full disclosure, I have investments in Cyberpunk, in CD Projekt Red, the parent company.
Canceled. Get off the show.
No. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I got to throw that out there.
That's awesome.
Because I've said that before somewhere online, and somebody will probably find it and bring it up. But I have played it on. I've tested it because it has a built-in benchmark. I have tested it on a crap ton of handhelds. When it first came out, I'm pretty sure that there's still a clip on my old Twitch channel. I tested it on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the PlayStation 5, and PC. And this GPU came out around the same time. It's crap. But at this point, they've ironed out so many of the issues that it's a staple, right? The only, like we said, 40 FPS seems to be like the target for the Nintendo Switch. I believe that it was the lead developer, if I remember correctly, or the director of Cyberpunk 2077. They came out and they said, if you want the definitive console version, you have to go with the Switch 2. They knocked out and ironed out so many issues to get it to actually be on the game file, to be on the cartridge.
Yeah.
That it is insane.
One of few that are.
Runs. Yes, one of few that are, which is a whole different conversation entirely.
Yeah, that's next week.
But yeah, no, and I've ran this on like a ton of other things. Right now, the best handheld costs like $900, so you're talking double the price, and that's the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. You can actually do like ray tracing on there. You can use XESS and have a handheld that does actual full ray tracing and get like a decent frame rate. But it's like $450, $900.
Yeah,
you kind of have to give and take. So that looks fantastic. You mentioned Split Fiction. I haven't played Split Fiction yet, but man, I am so excited. I'm replaying It Takes Two right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
And dude, this makes so much sense to play on the Switch. Anything that has co-op.
It does.
But tell me why. Tell me why, because I disagree. I feel like I'm going to buy Split Fiction, but I'm going to buy it on PS5 because I want to experience it on
I will
TV.
say this.
Why would I want to play it on the Switch?
it doesn't look the greatest
Because
on the Switch.
Even
too.
besides the graphics, we'll get to the graphics.
That was one of the ones I got to play.
We'll
That
get
was the
to-
only one I was like,
We'll get to the graphics in a
Eh,
second, Drip. He said that, and I want to ask him why he's saying that. Why do you
why
think?
on Switch?
Yeah, why on
instead
Switch?
of other
It's easy-
places?
Dude, it's easy to go. Like, and like anything that is co-op related with the Nintendo Switch, like you can take this anywhere. Like if you want to play on TV, that's an option. And that's the beauty of the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. You can play on the TV if you want to. If you don't want to, you can go ahead and, play tabletop mode. If you have somebody that has a Switch 2 with them, then you can go ahead and play without any issues at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and play handheld.
My brain goes straight towards. I know it's a bigger screen. Wait and see, right? I gotta wait and see to see if this 8-inch screen is big enough for like split screen co-op like that. But it might be actually 8 inches is pretty damn big. But
8 inches is beautiful, man.
that's what she said.
I was waiting for it, man. That was such a good alley-oop, bro.
It was.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
That'll be
that.
on the highlight reel. Yeah, that was a good one.
No,
That's a
but
good one.
yeah, my brain just goes towards the screen's too small. But I think I'm just thinking about it in Switch 1 terms. I really do.
I mean, come on,
It's
yeah, Switch 1. We were
1080p,
playing, dude.
8 inches. I mean, I
Think
think
about it.
I think that's gonna be fine. You've almost convinced me.
It is.
Almost. Maybe
Well,
I should.
think about
Maybe
this.
I should. But should I play it on Switch? I don't
You know
know.
what?
My
You know what?
brain is broken now. I don't know what to do.
Think
Just-
about
just
this.
let him-
Were you
let
not
him buy
playing
it.
Mario? Yeah, buy it.
Just let him buy it, and then you can play with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
who?
yeah.
What? I missed. I'm sorry. What?
No, if he can, you're both gonna get Switch 2s, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of us is going to end up with it. It's fine. We'll be able to play it somehow. We'll
One
That's-
of you
and
guys-
that's-
only
and that's
one
what
of
you-
you
yeah,
guys
that's
need a
true.
copy.
That's true. You only need one
Only one of
copy.
you
Yeah.
guys need a copy.
split a copy. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're
And
right.
then
You're right because it doesn't.
and
It
then
doesn't
you
matter.
can keep it on your system because you're going to play with Abby too, but you
Right.
have to play with me as well. So you have to play the game twice. Done.
And that's the thing. I
Figured it
wasn't
out.
even thinking
Great
about this
job.
because I can play. Can you play one person like one person on Switch, one person on PS5? Does it work like that?
Yeah. I
Oh, you mean like crossplay?
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, that's a really good question.
would imagine crossplay is
know.
like
If that's
Well,
the
if-
case,
if
I'm
I-
definitely gonna buy it on Switch because then I can have it both ways. I can play it on like one of us plays on the Switch tablet, handheld. One of us plays on the PS5 docked, and split it like that. No pun intended. But
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, I mean,
either way,
I think you probably can.
I think you
Yeah,
might be
it
right
does.
about that. 'cause
It also supports
because we can play it in
cross-platform play.
we can play it in bed too. Like her and I could play it in bed, like before we go to sleep or something.
Oh, I thought you meant us when you come to visit, but that's whatever. Fine.
I am a taken
Fine.
man, Drip. Okay.
It's fine. Whatever.
He's spoken for. He's
Cyberpunk.
spoken
Yeah,
for.
Cyberpunk.
You know what? You
So the
left
three,
me. You left me for your girlfriend a long time ago.
I did, I'm
Okay.
sorry. It
I
wasn't that
don't. I don't get
long.
to talk to you half as much as I want to. And we
I'm
have
sorry.
a podcast where we
I'm
talk
sorry.
every single freaking week together.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, so the three third-party games I got to play were Cyberpunk, Split Fiction, and Hogwarts Legacy. Those are the three I
Hogwarts
chose
Legacy is
because
gonna be good.
yeah, oh yeah, like I'm buying it. It's a launch game. They haven't said how much it costs yet, though.
It's probably full price.
I got it for
It's-
$15
it's
on
W-
the PS5.
It's WB, and Cyberpunk has been on sale for 30 before or below. So I mean, but that's $70. So I think it's going to be full price.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All those were Cyberpunk was crazy. It's a game I've never played, but obviously, it's everywhere. You've seen it. You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like honestly could not believe
You
what I was
liked it?
looking
You
at.
enjoyed it?
Oh, it was insane. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that was the one where I was like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. This is crazy.
Do you remember more or less like what you played? Like
Yes.
what
Okay.
area
I can tell
played?
you what. I don't know that the
Yeah,
area.
tell me more or
I
less,
think,
like a little bit, like, very quick.
I'm pretty sure the area was something in the newer part, whatever the DLC was.
Okay.
So what
okay.
I did is I was talking to somebody and I had to go up into this area and then I sat down at this table and talked to this girl who was at the table and Keanu Reeves was standing behind her on the fence.
Yeah, okay.
And they sent me on a mission and I went into this place and I had a bunch of guns and there were people in there and I had to go in and kill all them and grab something. But dude, it ran good.
Dude.
I got to play 15 minutes of it. It was like, and yeah, there was frame drops. I mean, there was stuff happening and like shit was going crazy in there, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like it didn't take me out of the game. And a lot of the times I'm not somebody who notices that stuff a lot and I wasn't looking for it. But there were some points when like thinking back, like, yeah, that wasn't like the best thing, but it looked like the visuals, like not even just the frame, like it just looked incredible. Like I could not believe, like I looked at the reps down, like I actually cannot believe that this is running on something Nintendo is putting out. Like, this is insane.
Well,
and they're
yeah,
just
man.
laughing. Like, yeah, you're not the first person to say that today.
let's talk about third.
It's insane.
That's third party. Let's talk about some first party. Before we do, I want to shout out A. Marcellus for a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Marcellus. Hogwarts Legacy and Cyberpunk are getting a Switch 2 version, and it gives me hope for a lot of third-party games to get definitive editions. Arkham Knight needs to be redone properly on Switch. Yes, it does. Holy crap, that game is trash on Switch 1.
Yeah, I was actually kind of excited about that. I bought those Arkham games like 5 times on so many different places. Still haven't played through. Maybe the Switch version, I'll do it. And then I was like, actually, I'm not going to buy that.
I got them on Steam when I had a Steam Deck and played them a bit on there. Yeah, they run good.
How did it run on the Steam Deck?
I played the newest one, the last one in the series. I forget which one that one was, but it played pretty damn good. I mean, I think there was, if I really lowered it, I could get close to 60, but I was more happy in that 40 ballpark range. And that's the thing. That's like a sweet spot, man. 40 is a good sweet spot. You're not getting all the way to 60, but there's things to consider. Heat, power consumption, like there's more to consider. So like 60 isn't all what it's all cracked up to be in handheld, which is why I'm totally fine with 40 FPS in handheld. Are you kidding me? That's going to be fine. Like Cyberpunk, and these other third-party games. Like, that's going to be good. Yeah. First party, though. Let's talk about Mario Kart. What do you think about Mario Kart? It has a look.
Mario Kart, I've never been like a huge Mario Kart fan, but my son is excited for it. So therefore I am excited for it because that's how parenthood works. He's excited. I'm excited. But, if I'm being 100% honest with you, Donkey Kong, bro, like, what? When was the last time we got a 3D Donkey Kong game?
90s?
Nintendo 64 and
N64, dude.
98, 99, something like that.
Insane, dude. And like, I heard rumors. Maybe you guys know about this stuff. Was it the Odyssey team that worked on it?
They won't say yet because Nintendo's just super weird about that.
Okay.
They will tell us eventually. Once the game comes out, that's when they'll let you know about who did it. Like, we didn't know Grezzo did Echoes of Wisdom until after it was out. They're really weird about that. But yeah, the rumors have been that it's the Odyssey team. And again, I played it. I got to see some of the stuff in there. Dude, it's Mario Odyssey. Like, all the extra coins in the places, it's Mario Odyssey. It's the same thing.
We were streaming the Direct, and I'm like, oh, this is them 3D Mario. This
we
is Odyssey.
Both were like, oh, it's 3D Mario. It's Odyssey too.
It's very obviously, in a good way. In a good way, it looks very Odyssey. And then it's like
you get the coins. You get the coins. Like, you go to a new world, and there's that place's currency, so you can go in the store and buy the outfits and stuff. It's the same exact thing. You can do the same thing in this. It's a lot of the things that happen and the way that things were, besides like all the destructible environments, it's very, very Mario Odyssey in the best way possible. Like, I don't mean that as like a bad thing whatsoever. That's a great thing.
You just sold me. Thank you. Yeah, I was already kind of sold, but you just sold me. Thank you.
It's awesome. It's cool. And it's only $70. Hey, here's a question. Is Mario Kart World worth $80?
Drum roll, please.
Man, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there.
I don't know. I mean,
yes. Drip thinks no.
Think it's worth?
Yeah, and here's why.
I don't think it is.
Here's why. I'm under and I said that this is how I defended Zelda of the past. Like, I'm under the impression that in order for it to be worth my money, it's not about necessarily the product from its core, like a kart racer. It's about what am I getting from it? And from Mario Kart, I am getting hundreds or thousands of hours of gameplay for years. And I know that's not how like a lot of people are thinking about it, but that's how I think about it. And yes, this will be worth it. I would pay $100 for Breath of the Wild and be happy to pay $100 for Breath of the Wild. I would pay $120 for Tears of the Kingdom and be thrilled. I'd be joyful, gleeful to pay it because I'm getting my money's worth from that. And Mario Kart for $80, small caveat, as long as they support it, as long as they are supporting this game and we get updates that aren't paid only, but also like some free updates with extra content, extra tracks, keep it living, so to speak. I'm definitely sold on it. I would
What if those updates
gladly pay
are-
$80.
What if those updates are tied behind NSO? Like, are you guys subscribed to NSO? I'm assuming yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Drip and
yeah.
I are the few
Like,
out
and
there
then
who are
we're
like are saying that NSO is the best deal in gaming.
I think it's great. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
so
for what it
cheap- it's
costs and what you
cheap.
get. For what it costs and
I
what
mean,
you
I
get.
do agree. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like up there. I think that like for me, I think $80. The problem with $80 is that we were at $60 not that long ago.
Yeah.
Right. For basically
And
the same game.
Exactly. And then they are going to support it. Mario Kart it's a console seller. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be $80 in my opinion. Like if the fact that it is bundled with the console for $50 more means to me that it should be a $60 game
Yes.
or a $70 game, not an $80 game. They're going to support it regardless. Chances are the Switch 3 is going to launch with Mario Kart World and all of the DLC that came out with it.
Yeah.
Right.
8K.
That's what I'm
8K
thinking.
version.
Just like 8 came out with 8 Deluxe. So it's going to be Mario Kart World Deluxe, whatever. I think that the excuse that Doug Bowser came out with saying that, well, we put so much time into this and blah, 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 blah. Not like that to me doesn't mean anything. Right.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
No, and this is a corpo thing. This isn't a game quality or that the game is going to be good or bad or anything like that. It's corpo. That's all it is. So when somebody comes to me, it's like, okay, you can increase the cost of a game onto the consumer side, but then you should deduct the amount that we pay for DLC, the amount that we pay for upgrades.
That's where I'm going to have
the amount that we pay
yeah.
for NSO, the amount that we pay for microtransactions, costumes, all this extra stuff.
That's where I'm going to have the big problem, because if they come out in a year and tell me I got to pay more for tracks that they're going to that's where I'm going to have a really big problem.
I'll be mad then if the first DLC we get is paid DLC.
Like that, yeah. Like if you're gonna maybe down the line in 10, whatever, however long we go with this one, like they did with Mario Kart 8, I will say they didn't make people pay for a long time, and they basically doubled the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate how that went.
No,
but if they start adding in characters and tracks and this and that, and they're paid portions like they did, like absolutely not. Like that is gonna.
So let me ask you guys this, right? So I loved Animal Crossing. I thought Animal Crossing New Horizons was fantastic,
dude,
right?
Yeah, I was obsessed.
They supported it for 2 years. They gave free updates the entire time until they eventually came out with the Happy Home Designer version, whatever.
Yep.
I didn't play much of it. My wife loved it. All right.
Oh, it was awesome. It was great.
If a game is supported throughout the entire life, let's say 3 years, right? Is $80 for everything worth it at that point? Or is, because again, we're looking at ACNH where I paid $60 for it and I got 2 years worth of support. Same thing with Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3. We got 2 years of support.
But the Happy Home Paradise thing, that was paid, right?
That was paid. That was extra, right?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the 2 years, because they gave you 2 years of like updates with like
we
all
got
the
Brewster,
events
we
and-
got Captain or Cap'n. There was some. We got free
we
stuff.
got all the stuff. Yeah.
We got free stuff and different things that happened throughout the, there were rollouts of like different holidays and different items that you would get and things like that.
There's an argument to that I see a lot, because this was my first Animal Crossing game, because I didn't have any interest in it before.
Do you like
this. I love it now. I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. But the thing I always kept hearing was, oh, well, this was in the last one that we don't even have in this, and now they're just bringing it in like it's some special thing. And it's like, that was in the last game, and they're just like putting it in here now like it's something new. It's not new. That should have been there. And Nintendo has been doing this a little bit in the Switch era with their sports games, specifically, like taking content out that clearly should have been there at launch and calling it free updates. That's golf is the biggest example for me, because that's the one that we actually played a good bit. When it came out, it was like, this is fun. It's fun. But it's light. It's light. And then if you buy it, 6 months later, if you went and bought it 6 months later and you just thought that was the game, it's like, yeah, it's good. It's a good game. But, they string you along with this stuff like, oh, it's a free update, but it's not. It's really just the rest of the game that you held back. I don't think it's quite that with Animal Crossing, but that's That's kind of the stuff I worry about a little bit, maybe here too, with Mario Kart World, a little
It's
bit,
sticky,
because
bro.
it's like
It's like you don't know. You don't know. We don't know where. And like the way that Doug Bowser responded to like the questions, it's kind of like, okay, does that mean that like the next Zelda is going to be $70 or is it going to be 60? Is it going to be 80? Like
80,
there's no
90. Where's the
We don't-
ceiling of this?
That's
the
there's
other
no
question.
rhyme or reason to it. So as a consumer, I'm confused. I
Yeah.
don't know what to expect.
He
That's
the
sounded,
thing that sucks
he
about the
sounded a lot
question.
like a politician, which bothered me a lot. I was like, you just sound like you're like some, idiot politician
Yeah.
who's trying to get one over on me. And like, I'm
Yeah,
too smart for
it-
that. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not,
I didn't like his answers
No.
at all.
No.
I mean,
He's
but
not
I wanted to
Reggie.
ask you guys. I agree. By the way, that is no Reggie. I wanted to ask you guys: did you think that the that tutorial thing,
Oh
should that
my
have been
God.
included,
Of
or
course.
are you okay like paying $10?
No, I'm
or
not
whatever?
okay with
the
it.
biggest
Absolutely
pile
not.
of bullshit
kidding
I've
me?
ever seen in my life. The fact that they're charging for that is embarrassing. I didn't play it. I didn't waste my time playing it, but I stopped for a second
Good man.
and watched people play it. I was like you've got to be fucking kidding me. You have to be.
you
It
can't
is
let
literally
Sony put out Astrobot for free.
Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom. Yeah.
Astro's Playroom, not Astrobot. Astro's Playroom.
For free.
Which, by the way, Astrobot is only like 4 times longer. If you're trying to 100% Astrobot, it takes like 20 hours. If you're trying to 100% Playroom, it's like 5. Like it's only 4 times more content for $60. That means like that's like a $25 value out of Playroom. And it was for free. And it was amazing. Like
It's awful.
incredible.
Listen,
Like,
it's not
Sony
even a
just
game.
embarrassed Nintendo. And plus, Astrobot won Game of the Year. And it won Family Game, which is Nintendo's thing. They just they egged their house and they pantsed them. Like, good God. And then you have the gall to release the worst tech demo I've ever seen and call it a game. And
It is
charge
literally a
$10?
tutorial for the system. That is all it is. It shows you how to use the system, which is like, here's where we're going to talk about this for a second, because this is like, this is so stupid, because it's like, okay, I do know this. I know with the Wii, that Wii Sports, Reggie fought for that to be a pack-in game in the United States. He fought for that because Nintendo didn't want to do it. They don't do pack-in games. They don't do it. At least that was a game, like an actual game. Like you could play that game with your family, your friends. I mean, they still make that same game called something else and put it on, they still do that game. They charge $60 for it now, but they still do it. This is not even a game. It's not a game. There may be some little mini games in there that are like tutorial disguised as some dumb little thing. This is not a game. It's literally, let
practice.
me teach you about your
Not a
new
game.
system. Let
Not
me
a
show you
game.
all the features of your system.
We
This
talking
is-
about practice.
This should not even be in the row of games. This should be buried in the menu somewhere.
We talking about a demo, not a game. Not a game. We talking about a tech demo.
It's not. The fact that they're charging for this is disgusting. Honestly, that's the one thing about it. Like Mario Kart, $80. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth $80. There's a few other things I'm like, this is like, that's embarrassing, man. Are you serious?
to put a bow on
charge
that,
money
to
for
put
that?
yeah, obviously we don't need to talk about the demo anymore. Mario Kart, to put a bow on that. Yeah, okay. Is it worth 80? No. Am I gonna get my money out of it? Yes. I think it's kind of where I'm at personally. Like no, I don't believe, like I say it's worth it because I'm gonna get my money out of it. But if you really, in reality, it's not really worth 80. I think it's probably more 60 or 70. But am I gonna get my money out of it? Yes. Nintendo has a lot of games. There's more Nintendo games than not for me that I get more than my money's worth for. This one's going to be one of them. I'm going to get more than my $80 out of this game. It's just that it kind of sucks. I got to pay 80. Some people, if you're not going to get the $80 out of it, then just don't buy it. Simple as that.
Technically, we're not paying $80 for it.
I
Technically,
paid 50.
we are
I paid
paying
50
$50
yeah,
for it.
got the
So,
bundle.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I'm paying
I mean,
$50
just-
for it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Oh, actually, before we do, I want Zelda. Quickly, Zelda. What do you think about the
Wait,
upgrades?
before we move on,
It's gonna be me.
It will
Sorry,
be. It will
go
be May.
ahead.
Sorry.
It will be.
What do you think about Zelda, Rudy? What do you think? Like the upgrades?
I mean, dude, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it
This is what Zelda looked like when I was, emulating it on my Steam Deck. Like this is no. Hey, I pulled that. I have my copy, my Wii U copy right over there. I pulled it, and I have it running. It's okay.
Uh-huh.
No, dude,
I streamed Zelda off my Steam Deck. I've done that before. It's fine. Like,
yeah, it's not a big deal.
I'm not afraid of
but
Nintendo.
no, like I saw it, dude. It looks so freaking good. Like this is, and I love the fact that like in the trailer they literally go to like one of the worst areas.
Yeah, I
in the
know. I know.
They're like, let's showcase how like good it looks. Like it's exciting, man. Do I think it's worth like paying for an upgrade fee? I personally don't, but I think that that's one of the ones that are included
free
with NSO.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. There is
Tears
no
of the Kingdom.
consistency.
No, there's not.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are included in the expansion pack. If you have that, you get those upgrades for free. Kirby and the Forgotten Land and its DLC are not, along with the updates for Mario Party Jamboree. Those are each going to be $20 separately.
To be
and if
fair,
you want to buy the other ones are 10 if you buy them without NSO.
and to be fair, like those upgrades for Jamboree and Forgotten Lands, they actually come with additional content, right?
They're
So
significant
if
updates, yeah.
Yeah. So if it's like, oh, you have to pay $10, $15, $20, and yes, you're going to get, the HD textures and all this and that, it's going to be upgraded, it's going to run better. That's one thing. But if you're going to get additional content on top of that, that to me is a win. Like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. That's definitely worth
The
paying
Kirby
the money
one,
for.
yeah. The Kirby one I'm definitely going to get. I didn't even buy
me too,
Mario
man.
Party
I love
Jamboree,
Forgotten Lands, man. It was so good.
Yeah. Dude, I just got a
Fantastic.
Kirby
The ending?
tattoo.
Shut up. Are you serious?
I did. I got to show you. I have to show you.
It's on his ass cheek. Close your eyes.
I was gonna say, like, bro, is it censored? Like, what? Nice.
Look at
dude. That looks good.
Yeah. I just got that I don't know, like 2 months ago
Legit.
at a tattoo convention, like just randomly.
And they just, how long did it take?
About 3 hours. He was like, listen, he's like, I love this idea. I'm going to like really sit down and make this. I was like, hey, take your time, whatever.
Yeah, man.
It's cool. I'm actually going to the same guy. He's going to redo my Triforce and put a bunch of stuff from the Twilight realm, from Twilight Princess, all over my fingers to cover this up, and probably just going up my hand and like down. Oh, it's going to be sick. I'm so pumped. This
Is
guy's
Twilight
like
Princess your favorite?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Twilight Princess is my jam.
But
this guy is the tattoo. This guy is like my dude. I've been looking for a tattoo artist. I got to tell you about this guy real quick. Then we'll get back on topic. He is a licensed Lucasfilm tattoo artist. So he's allowed to. He goes to all the Star Wars celebrations and tattoos there and stuff. Like he's licensed by Lucasfilm. Huge nerd. Cool. Loves Zelda. Loves Star Wars. Loves all the stuff. He does like all these traditional like daggers and stuff, but they're like Star Wars characters and helmet. Like they're made from like, it's nuts, man. I don't know how I stumbled upon this guy, but like I'm never getting tattooed by anybody else. This is my guy.
It was destiny.
It was. It really was. It really was. Okay, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, let's go to the meat and potatoes. The headliner here. Switch. See, I like potatoes. Switch to versus Steam Deck.
All right. So
Okay, it's happening.
Yeah. So like, let's just get right to it. What's the verdict? What do you think? Now you haven't been able to try the Switch 2 yet, obviously. I'm sure once you get in your hands, you'll be able to really test this thing out. Looking forward to that video. Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
But as far as what you can see now, what are you thinking?
So, and like, here's the thing, man. Like, when the Switch OLED was like around a year and a half, I did a Nintendo. I did a Switch. Oh no, what was it? It was the Steam Deck versus every Nintendo Switch. It was the title of the video, and I compared it to the Switch Lite, the Switch V1, Switch V2, as well as the Switch OLED. Right. I think of this from a marketing perspective. I'm like, there are two different fields. There are two different audiences that are here, right? You have the PC world, and then you have the console world. I think as of date, like the Steam Deck has sold maybe like 4-ish million units.
Yeah.
Like Valve is a private company; they're not publicly traded, so there's no IPO, no info, right? So we don't know. There's only estimations, and they said 3 million like a year ago. So 4 million. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I look at it, the Switch 2 is going to outsell. It's already outselling it based off of pre-orders. In terms of performance, that's really where things get interesting, because we talked about earlier that DLSS helps out so much with like overcoming the underclocking and undervolting that we're going to see with the CPU and the GPU of the Switch 2, that I think, this is just me thinking, and kind of like guesstimating based off of the data that we do have. We won't know until we have it in our hands. But I think that in handheld mode, the Steam Deck is going to perform better than the Nintendo Switch. But docked, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to perform better than the Steam Deck.
Okay.
And the reason is because when you do have it docked, you can give, theoretically, and I'm assuming that this is what's going to happen, more juice is going into the CPU and GPU. So it can do more things. It can render at higher frames or a frame rate or resolution, depending on what, kind of like with Metroid Beyond, where it's like you could either pick, 1080p, 120 hertz, or you can do 4K at 60, right? And that's their target.
Yeah.
I think that that's really where that will really truly shine. Another thing that I do want to go ahead and mention is like, when you have a console, the beautiful thing of a console is that as a developer, you can optimize because you have a box. Like we all know the story of how, Pokemon Silver and Gold were able to fit in both regions into that because of Iwata, right? So like that's because he knew the ins and outs of the Game Boy. He knew the hardware and he knew the limitations that were there and what corners he could cut to make the game work. Mm-hmm. The same thing happens with the Nintendo Switch 2. These developers, they're like, okay, this is my sandbox. This is what I can do and the amount of resources that I have. What can I do to make my game run on here as best as possible? Like Nintendo themselves, they've been freaking rocking it out 8-9 years on the same hardware, right? Yeah. And they've been giving us phenomenal games. I do not think that is going to change with the Switch 2. It is only going to get better. Yeah. I don't think that Valve cares personally. Like Valve's not going to look at this and be like, all right, man, now we got to make a Steam Deck 2. Like that's not going to be the case. No. But you are going to have people that are going to be like, nah, man, like the Steam Deck is, better, or the Switch 2 is better. It's going to target two different audiences performance wise. Like one is much better in handheld than it will be than the other. Also, you've had a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, we both have.
Like,
yeah.
You both have had it? Okay.
The same one, Rudy. The same one, actually.
One, yes. I sent mine to him.
And then I sent mine recently out. I sold mine in preparation for Switch 2.
Legit. So you guys know that like when you have that, if it's docked, like you could only really push it to like 1080. And that's
it didn't.
Like,
I was expecting more when I plugged it into. I was hoping it was gonna do more. Yeah.
No, 4K. I couldn't.
It was my Red Dead. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on. It's like all I used it for. I just played Red Dead Redemption 2 in my bed.
I'll tell you what though, I did get some games. Of course, it depends on the game, but I did get. I could push 1080 120 on it. I was able to do that.
Yeah.
Like Hades was pretty cool. I mean, I could experience 1080 120.
Yeah, man. Like I could do like Hollow Knight is like one of those games that I can just like any 2D side scroller that doesn't have like any 3D like effects, kind of like Ori technically is like 3D.
Right.
Yeah.
Like things like that are very simple to run. You can push, major frames on it and you'd be fine. I think that one of the big things is, realizing that there are limitations with the Steam Deck. The future of PC handhelds, though, I'm very excited for, and like that's like a whole other conversation entirely. But like I said, like I think handheld, Steam Deck, docked is going to be Switch 2, like without a doubt. As time progresses, though, that's going to change. Like there are games that have been coming out for PC that do not run well on the Steam Deck, and it kind of sucks. Some people say that it's optimization issues. Some people say that it's just the hardware. And to be fair, like the PC space moves so fast and there's so many things that are improving all the time that the Steam Deck is starting to really truly show its age when it comes to performance of newer titles. It's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, that's kind of a place I think the Switch 2 could maybe have a little bit of a leg up, because I feel like with consoles like that, it's kind of, I mean, obviously things around it are getting better, but as people put games on these consoles and they start developing for these consoles, they get better and better and better. We see it all the time, you know? Like you go to the beginning of the PS4 to Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4 Pro, like night and day. It's like miles. I mean, think about and again, and I think I've said this in a podcast, I've said this several times, but you look at like Cyberpunk right now on the Switch 2. Like, this is the beginning. We're at the beginning. Like, imagine where this is going to go. Like, once these developers get used to like what they're doing with this thing, find the little shortcuts, what they can do in and outs, like it's going to be nuts. I mean, give them, 4 years from now, it's going to be crazy. I mean, hopefully everything else just doesn't blow by it by then, but I mean, we'll see.
Dude, I remember I was reading an article written by Brian Vicente, I think was his last name. He used to be like one of like the head editors of Kotaku before, he jumped shipped. And he was writing at the beginning of the PS4 launch. He was like, what people need to realize is that like when an actual console launches, it's kind of like waking up in the morning. You're going to be groggy, you're going to be tired, and things aren't going to be like 100%. But as like the day progresses, all of a sudden you get, you're awake, have more energy. And that's typically 2 years down the line. So like that first like year and a half, like, yeah, you might get like some games. There's some things that are there, especially first party titles, right? We know that there's a Donkey Kong on the way. We know that Metroid's on the way, and the other titles.
We don't worry about Nintendo. Yeah, they got it.
We're not worried about Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's that third party support that's going to be there. And to be honest with you, a lot of what we saw in the Direct is really exciting. It's really a lot of games that, and like I also like, I'll be real with you guys. Like, I'm very fortunate in the sense that I have every console this generation. I have a crap ton of PC handles. I'm very fortunate. There aren't a lot of people, there are people that don't have that, right? Mm-hmm. That can only pick one. And if they pick the Nintendo Switch 2, if they have the Switch 1 and they're like, you know what, I'm happy with this, I want the Switch 2, all of a sudden they have access to games that they didn't have access to before. And I am always happy when a game launches on all the platforms, because the more people that can experience some of these titles, like Cyberpunk 2077, Hogwarts Legacy, heck yeah, man. Like, dude, this is a win all around. It's exciting, man. I'm getting chills just talking about it. It's super like, dude, it's so awesome. I get happy when I realize that there are going to be people that can play games like Cyberpunk 2077 and other games down the line that didn't get to experience that, man. Like, if you like spy thrillers and stuff like that, you're gonna love Phantom Liberty. It's like amazingness, man.
And that's the thing people always miss. They're in this episode, they're in their comments right now, and they're going to be in the comments in the future. The people who are like, the Switch 2 is stupid, the Steam Deck is better, or my handheld's better, they're completely and utterly missing the point of what a Switch is. It's entry level. It's for anyone and everyone. It's plug and play. People who I consider myself tech savvy. I'm nowhere near the level of you, Rudy, but I consider myself tech savvy. And I had the Steam Deck, and one of the reasons I got rid of it is because it was mostly a headache more than it was fun, because keeping up with them and it's just a headache. They're I'm sure someone who plays with all of them does the things that you do to them. They can,
and that's why you got mine, because I couldn't get anything running on. I'm like, I'm done, man. I just want to play fucking Wind Waker on this, and I can't get it to work.
It's a headache.
I'm done.
It's they're headaches. These PC, a lot of them, some of them, seem, and for different reasons. And it's not that they're bad. It's just that don't tell me that the Switch is worse than the Steam Deck for the average person. It's just not true. Like, the average person should not go buy a Steam Deck. The average person should go buy a Switch. And I'm talking about the Switch 1. The Switch 2, absolutely you should buy one, as long as you can afford it. And the people are telling me, and we had these two as well today, Rudy. The Drip and I were laughing about this before you got on. They're telling us, like, the Steam Deck is, crap, I think I lost my train of thought. What was I about to say? Drip, what were we talking about before Rudy got on? The dock, right? So like
the dock.
He was like, the Steam Deck is less, and it's like, well, yeah, but then you got to factor in the $90 MSRP dock. And he's like, well, no, you don't. You just buy a third-party $20 one. I'm like, well, that's not apples to apples, though. Like, you got to compare apples to apples. If the Steam Deck with its MSRP dock is more expensive than the Switch 2. And he's like, you don't got to compare apples to apples. You just got to do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have to compare apples to apples? Of course, when you have to compare apples to apples, we're talking about comparisons of apples to apples.
Oh yeah, I said we could totally compare this space heater I have here to a Nintendo Switch 2, and let's see how it shakes out.
Dude,
Well, that space heater's way better. It's
response-
going to heat that room way faster.
If that's
That
what we're going,
response is such a like PC like gamer response, because it's like if I'm building a computer, I don't have to buy like everything from the same brand. I can buy like an SSD from like Crucial. I can buy a freaking motherboard from Asus. I can buy, you're not brand dependent. You're just like, oh, whatever the cheapest thing, it'll work. There's protocols that are there. And so that's like a very PC like mentality.
Mm-hmm. He's not wrong. You can buy. You should. You should buy. You should buy the $200 dock. You absolutely should not buy the Steam Deck MSRP $90 dock.
But are there third-party versions of the Switch 1 dock?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a billion. A ton
there
of them.
are that actually like work, because I thought that like
No.
you can buy an enclosure.
At this point, there's literally hundreds. I have.
I had no idea.
Listen, I have one here that's also a capture card.
No way. Okay,
so
that's
capture card
that
and a
tells you how
dock
much
for
like I've been paying attention to.
It's from Avermedia. It's really cool.
Shut up!
It's
oh my
really
God.
cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on it. So it's really cool.
Okay, all right. I'll keep an eye out for that, because like that's one of the things that I've been like. I remember when Switch V1s, they were getting fried because they would do like mods and stuff, and like it would kill stuff. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. So I'm just gonna stick with the official one.
Well, and you know what? The cool thing about this dock as well, it's made for all the PC handhelds, so it does 1080, 120, and 4K 60. So it's ready for the Switch 2 as well.
Legit.
But that's like a very expensive version of what we're talking about.
Cheap.
You can go to Best Buy, buy their branded one for $40. I mean, you can buy an Amazon Chinese one knockoff for very cheap.
Well, yeah, but
and as long as you're using,
as you're big,
right? You can use the Genki one that's like a plug in the wall.
That one's great. Yeah,
as long as
awesome.
as long as you're using the Switch AC adapter, is really not too much fear. And that was really the bricking was happening early on, like Drip said. So that's kind of been solved since the V2 and the OLED. It's pretty much been solved.
Yeah, well, I think it ended up being something Nintendo patched in a software update. It was something that was internal in the Switch where it was not playing well with third-party docks or third-party charge sources that weren't the exact thing that it was supposed to be, because it's some weird
it's a weird like
43 watts or 40, I don't know, something weird.
It's super non-standard.
Yeah, I really hope they fix that this time, because that's just absolutely stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy was an idiot. Let's just be clear. Sorry, guy. But you're an idiot.
I agree. An idiot.
Sorry, guy. Come back though. Come back. Stick around. I still want you here.
Let's talk about the Legion Go, Ally X. Now, from that bunch, and you could talk about more than that as well, Rudy. You don't got to talk about just those ones specifically. But like, it's from those. The closest comparison I can find, let me pull it up here for myself, is the ROG, the regular Ally. And that has a 1080p screen. Where are the I should have pulled the specs, but that's like the closest one. Is that correct as far as like at least
in terms of like power, or in terms of like price, or in terms of like?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like just from those three, it seems like it's the closest one packet. Because that's another thing too. It's really hard to compare the Switch 2 to really anything. It's it's a unique device. It's hard to compare it. But I don't know. Instead of answering that question, let's ask you a different question. What do you? I think I actually did already ask you this. I can't remember. Right? What is the closest comparison you got? Like, what is like if there is one device out there that is similar to the Switch 2 in any regard, the price, spec, whatever.
Besides the Steam Deck.
Besides the Steam Deck.
Oh, besides the Steam Deck. So like, if I'm just looking at it from like in terms of like performance, right now the MSI Claw 7 AI Plus and the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus are like the two that are probably the closest. The only thing with the 7 is that it's a 7-inch screen. The 8 is an 8-inch screen, and the 8 is a 16:10 screen. It's gonna be the same width, just taller, kind of like the Steam Deck. The thing with that though is that like they're using Intel for their GPU and CPU. Like CPU wise it's fine, but GPU, it's like you get like weird stuff, man. Like I was playing Returnal and like the fog was like above my character the entire time, where like the fog is only really supposed to be like at the legs and stuff. But in terms of like performance, man, it's like it's the best right now. Whether, you know, there's going to be Steam Deck fanboys, there's going to be ROG Ally fanboys, Legion Go fanboys. And like the thing is that with the Legion Go, the ROG Ally, and the Ally X, they all use the same chipset. That's so you're going to get similar performance across the board. The biggest differences between all of them is literally the screen size, battery size, and the RAM that's inside. My go-to right now, my go-to PC handheld right now is the ROG Ally X using Bazite, which is kind of like Steam OS, right? Custom installed. But yeah, no, the MSI Claw 7 and 8 are just the best. But there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. Like if you want the best of the best of the best of the best performance, that's it. Here's the kicker. In CES, we saw handhelds with the Z2 Extreme chipset, which is the next generation of the chips that are in all of the handhelds that I talked about, except for the MSI ones. Those, like, you're going to get more cores, more GPU units, newer drivers, and like I finished doing a video on a tablet that can run like AI models locally. Like you don't have to be connected to the internet, and the CPU that's in there is strong enough. It's a CPU GPU. It's an APU technically, where both are like on the same chip, and they could run everything right there on the tablet. It's expensive as heck. It's like 2300 starting. But like one of the other guys that I know, he literally took that and like knocked down all of the juice that was going into that processor so that it felt and looked like it was a handheld. And with that, he was getting performance that was way better than what we saw on any of the other handhelds. So that to me means, and these are all based on rumors, that we're going to get not a crazy boost, but a significant boost in performance and also battery efficiency with the next generation that's coming out. So I hate to say this, but we just got to wait until the end of May when Computex is over, because I'm betting that we're going to get all that stuff announced right then and there.
So you're saying
that's
there's something better on the horizon. You're saying that could be.
There's always something better on the horizon.
Of course,
man.
that's a dumb thing to say. But yeah,
always,
of course.
there's always something better in the PC space. Like if something will come out like in May, and in June we're gonna get something else.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really honestly, I think something that's very cool with what's going on right now, and it's because of the original Switch that kind of built this new space of like, you know, the handheld thing that came back, and then you know there were other PC handheld style things out there, but nothing even close to what we're seeing now. And it's because of what the Switch 1 did. Everyone's like, oh, hell yeah, let's get on that. But now that space, like you're saying, like, oh, wait till the end of next month. Like this giant leap, like they're pushing in that space now to make these things go. And this, yeah, you're right. This next generation is going to probably be like crazy. Everybody's like the Steam Deck 2 is going to be nuts. And, you know, that's the only thing I worry about with the Switch 2. Like right now, we're going to be like blown away by this thing. But as soon as these other things start coming out, the Switch 2 is going to be like, oh.
But dude, it's two different audiences, man.
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And I'm sorry,
I'm just like, it
those other
even
ones
matter.
don't have Zelda. Those other ones don't have Zelda. So I'm
like not legally, but yeah. Like, I was gonna say, but dude, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like, there's so many people that underneath my Switch versus Steam Deck video, like commented and were like, "Oh my god, this or that, blah blah blah." And I'm just like, dude. And I said it at the end of the video. I'm like, from like a marketing standpoint, the PC players and the Nintendo Switch players are two different things. You have some that overlap, but for the most part, they're looking at these for two different reasons, two completely different reasons. So I think even if, like, here's the other thing, man, like the idea and the concept of the Nintendo Switch, it blew the world, right? And there were still like PC handhelds, as cringy as they were. They existed.
They were terrible. Yeah, they were very
They
bad
were so bad, bad. But I love it because the Nintendo Switch made it much more mainstream, right? What I do love about it is that now that AMD specifically, they were like, okay, we only really did 2 SKUs last generation. This generation, we're going to do 3. That to me means that they're taking this market much more seriously than they did before, which means that we're going to have more options. And the further that they push the market, the better that the next Switch is going to be.
Yeah.
It's like
let
you
everybody
said,
else
dude.
do it first.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're going to do it first. When it's cheap enough, Nintendo's like, yep, bring it on down here. Let's go.
Exactly, dude.
Give me
I'm
3
all
of
for
those.
it, man.
Give me 5 of these things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, I'm a Nintendo guy. I am. I mean, I don't know if I'm a Nintendo. I don't know if I'm a Nintendo drone, but like I'm a Nintendo guy. I like Nintendo stuff.
Sheep.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I wanted to do the Steam Deck thing. I wanted more power because I'm like, oh god. And then I'm like, well, I got a PS5. I can get a Portal. At least I can at least I can play Fortnite and actually see what the fuck I'm looking at in handheld mode. And that was fine. But now it's like I don't even want my Portal anymore. I'm not gonna play I don't need that. Like if I need my PS5 for something, it's probably now just gonna be PS5 exclusives. I would imagine. I'm gonna take everything back to the Switch that I possibly can. I want it to be there. Like that's what I want it on one thing. I want it in my pocket. I don't want any game cards with me. I just want,
I want it all. I want it now.
Yes.
So we've talked about a few of these handhelds. We'll just put a bow on this wonderful podcast we've had. The Legion Go, on sale at Best Buy right now, $600. The RG Ally, the original one, not the X, 7-inch, $650 at Best Buy.
That's not worth it.
The MS, I'm sure there's a better price out there, but it's not touching the Switch 2 price.
Well, that's the thing. It was like a few weeks ago.
Was it? Okay, so it'll get close to the Switch 2. Okay,
it was $450
without a dock.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Don't ruin my point. The MSI Claw, $650 at Walmart.
Yeah.
Looks like I see it at Walmart.
Wait, which one?
The 7-inch.
Is it the AI Plus? Does it say A1M or A2M?
It says, what does it say? MSI Claw 120 hertz gaming handheld Intel Core Ultra 516L or 16 GP LPDDR5. A board yet? That's what it says. It's Walmart.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's worth it then.
Anyway, ballpark pricing. What's the ballpark pricing of the MSI Claw? Like, what you've seen?
That's the thing. Like the MSI Claw
450. A1M is $450 on eBay. That's eBay though.
That's okay. So the A1M because the A1M did not perform as good as the Ally, but at like $450 used, it's not bad, man. And like that's the thing. Like for me, like I'm looking at it, I'm like, if you're okay with like 30-40 FPS, you're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about shit, man. Like,
and then you got the Asus ROG Ally X, which is a Best Buy price at $700. That's right?
The big kahuna. That's so during Black Friday.
Did I say 700? I meant
$100.
800 is what I meant to say, not 700.
It dropped $799. Yeah, it dropped $100 to $699, and like that to me is like worth it because you get a terabyte of data, you get plenty of space. Dude, okay, when I was flying back from vacation last summer, I think it was like a 9-hour flight. I played for 7.5 hours on that handheld. I played, dude, the battery is so good.
That's crazy.
It is so good. I played like 2 or 3 hours of freaking Elden Ring, and then I was like, you know what? Let me switch it up. And I played like Dave the Diver and freaking Hollow Knight and stuff.
Really conserving that battery.
Fantastic.
That's
yeah, because I was like, all right, it's starting to kind of drain a little bit. I gotta go ahead and put something else on. Yeah. But it was good, man.
That's nuts.
I gave you the data to support my point because that's what I want to do. Is the Switch 2 a good deal and or the best deal right now?
It's definitely a good deal. Best deal is dependent on that is a very personal thing.
Good answer.
Because
it's not what I wanted, but it's a good answer.
No. Like real talk. If it wasn't for my son and if it wasn't for my channel, I would not be getting a Switch 2.
Okay.
Real talk.
Fair.
Real talk.
Fair.
Because right now with what I have on my plate, I don't see myself dedicating the time to it to justify the cost.
That's
right?
fair.
And like but from like a holistic looking at the whole gaming scene in a bird's eye view, is it a good deal? Heck yeah, man. Like you're talking like, and this is again looking at plug and play, getting games that are just running for the general audience. What more could you want?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. A lot of people were coming in like, yeah, it's going to be $400. And I was on that train too. It
I thought
seemed like,
450 personally.
there you go. Well, you know,
Man,
a lot more about this space than I do. But
I thought
I was like 400, $400.
No,
like, okay.
No, I thought 450, 499. And like people looked at me and they're like, bro, like seriously, $399
I think you said that
easy.
last time you were on the show, and I was like, no way, man, no way.
It sparked my memory. You're right. Yeah, you did say that.
So I was on the 400 train.
Yeah,
but they said 450, and at first I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. But then, once we started getting more information, once they stopped like falling over their own feet for a minute to tell us what was in there and like what was happening with it, and you started to see some of like really take into consideration, okay, this thing's gonna run, like we're gonna get 4K 60 games, 100 like 120 1080, like this is crazy. And then you start looking around at like what some of these games look like yeah, camera's too hot.
Ooh, he's steaming over there, guys. He's steaming.
It's too hot in here. It's Florida heat, man. It's the Florida heat.
Oh yeah, you're coming into the season too. But yeah, I mean, once you got to see what it was, yeah, 450 is like, yes, absolutely, that's a good deal. It's a great deal.
Oh,
there's still people pissed about 450. Like, why? What are you mad about?
I think the console price is fair. What isn't fair is that Mario Kart World price.
That is exactly right.
That's my, because like to me, the console is worth it. It's the software that I'm kind of like, I don't really know.
Yeah, we'll see.
The software is kind of like.
But to hear you say it's a good deal at least, or fair deal.
Yeah,
at the worst.
Of course,
that's good to hear because that's how we feel as well. We're also like Nintendo's and we're biased and everything.
Yeah, we're in our echo chamber over here. Yeah.
But you got to understand that like not all games are going to be $80. Not all games are going to be 70, 60. Some are going to be 50.
Some are going to be 90 according to the internet.
Some might be 90. All I know is that Rockstar is going to look at Nintendo and be like, "Yo, you guys are doing 80."
Yeah, hold my beer. Hold my beer. Watch this.
Seriously. So I don't know, man. But yeah,
what's the new? What's the one game? Not Fast RMX. That was the first one. What's the new one? Fast.
Oh,
something.
dude, I don't know.
Anyway, it's an F-Zero style game. It's going to be a launch game on the Switch too. You want to see something that looks absolutely amazing? Pick that up, and it's $15. It's $15. Let me tell you something. The first one, it was a launch game on the Switch 1, Fast RMX. Holy hell. It's a racer. It's one of those like super high speed racer things. Unreal. The new one looks, oh my God, it looks crazy. And it's $15. $15.
Come on.
Yeah, you got to get it. Mario Kart 80, another rate, $15. I don't know. Get both. It's whatever. But just saying, the price is going to be all over the place.
Lonnie, Lone says Fast Fusion.
Fast Fusion, that's it. Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks
is that Lonnie? Really is that Lonnie? Is that Lone? I don't know. I can't pronounce
Lone. That's Lone.
Okay. All right. Lone Wanderer. Lone Wanderer 99. That's right.
Yeah. Read the rest. You'll figure it out.
I don't got time for that. I got a job over here. I read. I can hardly read as it is. Yes. Rudy, where can people find you on the internet? What do you do?
Oh, dude, I am at Baldly Rudy everywhere, like YouTube, Twitter, X, or whatever it's called, Blue Sky, freaking on Discord. Huh?
I'm sorry. I keep saying Baldy. It's Baldly. I don't know why.
It's okay, man. It happens all the time. You're good, man. Like I get shout outs
last time.
I know. I'm a moron.
You're good. But yeah, everywhere. Literally that. You'll find me everywhere. But no, man. I like this stuff is awesome. Like I thank you for having me on, man. Like seriously, it was freaking awesome.
No, it's our pleasure.
Get ready in June when you got your hands on it. We got to have you back so you can tell us what you think about it.
We'd very much like to have back on for when the system comes back in here. When it comes in our hands for sure, because that'll be different. That'll be a different story. Cool, man. Yeah, guys, go follow Rudy. Appreciate your time tonight, dude. It's been a blast as always. It's gonna be May. A few hours, guys. It's gonna be May. Exciting. Only what, like 36 days till launch day? That's
Yeah,
what
we're getting
like
super close.
Like what? Like 5. We're gonna start counting on podcasts. We got like 5 podcasts left until until we get the Switch 2. I can't.
Oh
wait
man,
for that. Something like that. Something crazy. Oh boy, but yeah, man, super grateful to have you on and good conversation. If you guys have not liked the stream already, please do that on your way out. Those of you listening and watching and live streaming with us right now, we're gonna sign off for now, and we're gonna see you guys next week.
Later.
It's gonna be May.
Nintendo, every single show. Dreadlong Zelda, cheap, less is slow.